Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina and today I have a what I eat in a day video, but it is the weekend edition. So we're having a little fun here with waffles. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know what is in this recipe, but before I do, if you enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and let's get started with breakfast. Okay, so I have talked to you before about my protein waffles. This is a staple in my diet. It is something I love, and that's because I just really enjoy breakfast foods, but I have my goals too, and this is something that I have every Saturday and Sunday morning, and I just love it. I think it's really delicious and it's so macro friendly. So what I have here, it's a combination of Kodiak cakes and protein powder. And then I also use almond milk and egg whites. And I mix all of that up. It makes the batter. One of the tips I have is that after you mix the batter, if you put it in the fridge for a little bit or even just let it sit for a little bit, it will start to thicken up. And I feel like that really adds kind of to the substance and just makes it a thicker texture. So anyway, that is how I make the batter. And I usually switch between the chocolate Kodiak cakes and this one. And today I am doing the blueberry, and I think this one is delicious. I am a chocolate girly, so for me to have something with fruit in it means that it's really good. So for this particular one, I used some of this mix. And then after I'm done chatting with you all, I'm going to top it with this Kerry's sugar-free low-calorie syrup. I've shown this before. This is full of chemicals, but I really enjoy it, and it just helps me focus on getting all my nutrients in, like with the actual protein waffles. And then I like a lot of syrup, so this just allows me to have it. It's not something I have to worry about, like, oh my gosh, I used a tablespoon of maple syrup and it has 300 calories. And I don't know, I just don't have to think about it with this, which I really enjoy. So the macros on here are 5 calories per serving. Like I said, you can go ham. I have 2 servings of this because I like it.
And then just for fun, I'll show you really quickly my really crusty waffle iron. Okay, let's just be done with that. Great.
Okay, so this is what I am actually consuming for breakfast. Like I said, the sugar-free syrup, I'm going to use 2 servings, so that's 10 calories. For the chocolate chips on the weekends, I don't measure it. Look at me living a little bit free, but I have in the past, and I know that's roughly kind of when I freehand it, how much I use, so I make sure to include that. The unsweetened almond milk, I have the milliliters because I'm a baker and I just like to be precise, but that is about half a cup. And then to that almond milk, I am adding 32 grams of the Kodiak cakes, which I just showed you. And then you can add 30 grams of whatever protein powder you enjoy, but I use the PE Science protein powder, and I do feel like that one works really well because it's a whey casein blend, so it just is kind of better for baking. And what I will do is, like, this is sort of my rough recipe, and then if I need a little bit more protein in the day, maybe I will up the protein. If I need a little less, I can decrease, and I just try and get the powder part, so the Kodiak cakes and the protein powder, to add up to 60 to 62 grams. That's roughly what I use. And then here, this is the fruit I'm topping it with, approximately 20 grams of blueberries and 45 of strawberries. And you can see the total for that is 419 calories, and all of that comes to about 39 grams of protein. So I don't know what you think about it. It's not perfect, but I think it looks delicious. I get to have my chocolate chips, I get to have my waffle craving totally satisfied with this recipe that's around 400 calories and almost 40 grams of protein. So this is probably my favorite, like, make at home breakfast. Like I said, I have this every weekend, and I really enjoy it. So anywho, I love this. It is a great macro friendly breakfast, something I can't wait to go eat now. I really enjoyed that breakfast. It kept me full for a while, but now I am back with lunch, and I am so excited that I get to share my weekend stuff with you guys because it's a little bit different, and I tend to do the same things during the week. So I think this looks really good. I'm really excited to dig into it. Let me show you what I have here. Basically, what I did was make some tuna buffalo chicken dip kind of situation. And I use this tin of tuna. It's chicken of the sea, chunk light tuna. I always suggest getting it in water if you're particular or thinking about like how to maximize your calorie count, just because if you get it in oil, it's going to have a ton of fat. Fat's not bad, but I prefer to get my fat in other ways, as you will see with dessert. But anyway, this is the macros. Calories are 110, and then protein is 24 grams. So I really needed a protein punch because just wait until you see what dessert is. So I'm trying to get my protein in earlier in the day, and this is going to help me do that. So basically, I mix this tin of tuna with 25 grams of non-fat plain Greek yogurt, and then I just added some buffalo sauce, like Frank's Red Hot. Added that to this and then just stirred it up, and I think it's looking delicious. And then on the side to dip with this, I made my own pita chips, which is actually super duper easy. And I don't know why I don't do this more often, because it's just so macro friendly. So let me show you what I use to make this. If you haven't seen it before, this is the Joseph's Flax Oat Bran and Whole Wheat Pita Bread. You can get this at Walmart. I think I got this one at Vons. Don't get freaked out about that expiration date. If you can see a little moisture here, I just put these in the freezer and then just grab whatever I need when I need it. But these are really great because they're kind of like a proper pita for being as healthy as they are. As you can see here, there's 6 grams of protein and only 60 calories. So I actually had half of one in here from something I had before. So this whole serving is actually only half of one of those. So that is 30 calories, which is insane. This is how I'm tracking it in MyFitnessPal. I mentioned I just used half in there. So that is 30 calories. And then all I did to make them this crispy style chips was just put them in the air fryer. That's all you have to do. I put them in the air fryer for about 4 minutes. If you do any longer, they will burn because, once I break it in half, it's quite thin. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on them. But about 4 minutes at 360 in the air fryer, and you will have pita chips, which is super cool. And then I have the tuna, as I mentioned, some of the Greek yogurt, and the buffalo sauce. I'm not really sure I can believe it myself, but this light lunch that I have here, it is 153 calories and nearly 30 grams of protein. So just a super easy way to fit a bunch of protein into your day for low calories. So again, I can kind of spend my calories how I like and spend a little bit more on breakfast because that was awesome. I'm going to spend a little bit more on dessert because I'm looking forward to that. So this one's a little bit more efficient, but I think it's going to still be super delicious, and I am really looking forward to it. And I think turning these into little pita chips is a really fun hack. So hopefully you can try that out and see if it works for you. So my little buffalo tuna thing was really delicious, but I am hungry now and it is time for snack. And it is going to be a creamy snack day. A lot of times I have creamies for dessert, but lately I've also been enjoying having them as snack because they have sort of the same macro profiles as a protein shake or a protein bar. So I'm like, why shouldn't I be able to enjoy it earlier in the day? So this is my creamy here. You can see usually I make about a half portion, but this really fills up the entire container. And let me get a spoon real quick to show you the texture. And then I'm going to put 6 grams of Cinnamon Toast Crunch in here as well. Creamies just hit the mark every time. It's such a satisfying snack to be able to eat basically an entire pint of ice cream. And then I add just a little bit of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch for that texture component. And yeah, I am so looking forward to digging into this, but let me show you how I track it and what actually went into the creamy. So I'm tracking it under snacks, and this is my cottage cheese creamy. I'll show you the recipe in a moment. And then a few grams of my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So these are the macros for the overall creamy, and it is 182 calories, about 3 grams of fat, 7.6 grams of carbs, and 31 grams of protein, which I'll say it again, 182 calories and 31 grams of protein. I mean, I cannot think of a more satisfying snack. Okay, so these are the ingredients. It's 170 ml, which is about half a protein shake. I actually didn't use a chocolate, I used a vanilla, but it's close enough, and this is gonna help me, make it easy to track, is not always swapping out chocolate and vanilla in a recipe. And then I used 1/4 cup of cottage cheese, a couple ounces of almond milk, so that's just gonna add some volume. And then I add a little bit of 2% milk, that's gonna add some fat, and then 11 grams of protein powder. So that is looking super cute, and I am very excited to get into this. Hello and welcome back for dinner. This one is so simple, it tastes really fresh, it's super delicious, and all I had to do was essentially combine 3 ingredients. So This is what I'm calling my Thai style chicken broccoli and noodles recipe, and all I did was combine these 3 different ingredients, and the macros are great and it's really tasty and just comes together super quickly. So all I did is take one of these packages. This is Kevin's Natural Foods, and this flavor is the Thai style coconut chicken. I hadn't had this one before. I combined 1 whole package of this, and let me show you what the macros are real quick. It's kind of on the side here, but you can see that for 5 ounces it's 180 calories and 20 grams of protein. And then one of the great things about Kevin's Natural Foods are the ingredients are just super clean and really natural. It's just got chicken, some coconut sauce, which includes coconut milk and some spices, a little bit of coconut sugar, turmeric. So you'll see it's actually this really lovely yellow color. I'm not sure if that's coming through in the video, but it is a really nice, lovely yellow. But anyway, it's great ingredients and great macros. And then to that, I added one of these Trader Joe's Thai wheat noodles packages. So there are 3 packages in each of these. And I've mentioned this before, these noodles are fantastic. They're just really thick and chewy and toothsome and just have a good bite to them. 1 package of these noodles is 310 calories, 2 grams of fat, 63 grams of carbs, and 10 grams of protein. So it does have a little bit of protein in there. So what I did for this is just combine 1 package of the Kevin's Natural Foods with 1 package of the Thai wheat noodles, and then 1 bag of frozen broccoli, which is about 4 cups of broccoli. And since the Kevin's Natural Chicken was 3 servings, I made this entire thing 3 servings, and that worked out really well. This is a nice size portion. I believe it's about 8 ounces, and it's just so simple, quick, easy to put together, and tastes so good. And this is how I'm tracking it in MyFitnessPal. You can see I'm kind of lazy and I just labeled it chicken noodles, but it's these specific chicken noodles and broccoli. The calories for each portion is 323. It is almost 8 grams of fat, 31 grams of carbs, and 29 grams of protein, which is great. You know, I always have a target of around 30 grams of protein per meal. I feel like that's a really good target and something I try to hit consistently. And then, like I said, this is just a super easy meal to throw together. It's literally 3 ingredients that I then split out into 3 servings. And then I have a dinner with almost 30 grams of protein and almost no effort. So I really enjoy it for that reason. So yeah, this is what I have for dinner. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this, and I will be back with dessert. Welcome back to my favorite part of each and every day, and it is dessert time, and I am stoked. I have a major sweet tooth, if you don't know that already, and no, I am not eating all of this for dessert. That would be pretty insane, but I just wanted to show you some of my bakes. So I've started a little bakery business. It's called the Gooey Bar, and these are some of my R&D slices, just where I'm trying different things out for a market I'm actually going to very soon, which is super exciting. So I unfortunately have some leftover bakes from doing my research, and so I will be enjoying some of them tonight. I just wanted to show you them in somewhat bigger form so you could see the goodness that is happening here. So here we have an M&M Blondie, and what I was experimenting with this one is the M&Ms kind of tend to sink a bit there in the bottom, but I actually woke up in the middle of the night last night and thought, mini M&Ms. So I think if I incorporate some mini M&Ms, they won't be as heavy, and I can have some that are a little bit more dispersed throughout, but it tastes really, really good, which is why I want to keep working on this one and keep tweaking it, because I think it's something special. And then this one is a Biscoff Blondie. I use the off-brand Biscoff for my research. I use the real brand stuff for the actual bakes. But this is good. This one I know is delicious. It's ready to go. I just hadn't made it in a while, so I was sort of working on kind of the design aspect of it, but also really like this one. And then over here, my goodness, this has my heart. What I was testing out on this batch is I have been doing cookie pies. If you don't know what a cookie pie is, you are about to have your life changed. It's a sweet pie that kind of looks a bit like a savory pie, popular in the UK, and I fill them with different kinds of spreads and biscuits and things like that. And what I've been developing here is a chocolate base for the cookie dough. So my normal cookie dough is just, regular flavored. And this one I've made chocolate. And then on the one on the right, this is chocolate stuffed with Biscoff spread and Biscoff cookies. And then on the left here, this is my favorite slice. It is chocolate biscuit dough and then actual chocolate brownie stuffed in there with Nutella. So this is like the chocoholic's dream right here, which is what I am. So anyway, I'm feeling pretty good about both of these because I know they're delicious. So how am I going to decide how much of this to enjoy and how much to track? Let me show you how I do that. So dessert is a priority for me every day, but especially on a weekend day. So part of what I do is just set aside a lot of my calorie budget for it and then actually think about how everything else is going to space throughout the day. So that's what I did here. It's part of the reason I had the creamy earlier because I knew I could get a lot of protein in with that. But what I've done is just taken an estimate of a chocolate brownie. It's probably not as good as my chocolate brownie. And I know I'm having blondies, but I think roughly it will be good enough to represent the calories, the fat, and the carbs, and then also a cookie pie. So I've just taken an estimate here and an estimate in terms of the grams. So then what I can do is weigh up some of what I have and see how it will track to this. So I'll go ahead and do that and then show you what I'm actually going to eat. So this is what I'm actually going to enjoy. I have some bites from the Biscoff, the M&M Blondies, one I didn't show you before, but I had a tiny bit of my R&D peanut butter brownies, which are really great too, and then little slivers of the cookie pies. So I'm basically just having a little bit of a lot of things, which is what I like to do a lot, and it's roughly 100 grams of the brownies, and I think I was just under 50 grams with the cookie pies. I was a little bit over with the brownies, but it is close enough, and I am feeling good about that, and I am so excited to eat this. This is like my favorite thing. I really love these desserts, and it's very convenient that I make them and that I get to enjoy them. So that's going to finish me off for this full day of eating. The calories were about 1750, and then I wanted to show you the macro breakouts here so you could see how that was split. So I did about 185 grams of carbs, I did 51 grams of fat, and 136 grams of protein. I'm very happy about that. I hit my protein goal, fat goal looks on track, the carbs are right where they should be, just a little bit under. I'm okay if I have a little bit more protein and kind of make that trade-off there. So this was a really great day of eating and hopefully fun to see how I incorporate some of my favorite treats. I have a huge sweet tooth, so it's just something I really try to prioritize. Now, other folks might want to use those calories more evenly, more spread out through their day to have bigger meals. That is a great option too. I would encourage you to do what's going to work best for you and what's going to stop you from having cravings and just basically lead a sustainable lifestyle. For me, if I cut out dessert cold turkey, like that's just not going to work. So it's better for me if I figure out how I can fit it in and sort of make the cutbacks or drawbacks where I don't mind as much and then really get to enjoy where I am passionate about the food, which is often dessert. Creamies really make that easy as well. They're just so delicious, and I make them full of protein, so they fit nicely into any day, and I can kind of mold them to be the macros I need. So I'm going to end it there for the day. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope it gave you some ideas or insights into different ways you can reach your goals and still enjoy dessert. So thanks, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.